Okay, so I just watched the trailer for Mortal Kombat 2. Now, I didn't see Mortal Kombat 1, but I think they definitely got it right with part 2. Let's dive in. So, Mortal Kombat in my lifetime has been kind of ubiquitous. From I was playing the video game from when I was a preteen all the way up to watching the original movie in the mid '90s, I think, and it was always just around. I remember seeing, promotions for the other kinds of movies and sequels and iterations and video games. So it's always been there. It's what they would definitely call an established IP. But one of the things that always struck me as like the almost impossible task to adapt a Mortal Kombat game into a movie is, what is the story going to be? And for me, story is key. It's king. And if you don't have one, then please don't waste your time. But from what it looks like in the trailer, it seems like they zeroed in on something that is actually going to be something worth watching, investing in, and enjoying. From what it looks like to me, it's going to be Johnny Cage, played by Karl Urban, as the main protagonist for the story. It's in the trailer. It looks as if he is being called by Raiden to go and compete in this tournament to, I guess, save the universe, save the galaxy. I'm not really sure how they're going to package it together this time around. But in comparison to the original movie that came out, which seemed more like a fantastical version of Enter the Dragon, and now there's seems to be like more stakes involved, and everything looks to be as it probably they were trying to make it be in the past. So, and what I mean by that is particularly the VFX of the movie. Like I remember there's this one character from the video game that they tried to incorporate in the original movie that has like, I think, like 6 arms or something like that. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. But the way that they tried to the incarnation of him in the movie was just so terrible. I mean, all they had was practical effects in those days. And so like it just looked terrible. It looked like, the worst claymation you've ever seen, even though if they actually did do claymation, it would have been a better fit. But it was just a giant costume with some puppeteering going. It was just terrible. And they tried to like give everyone equal time, and that's just not going to work. If you're doing a TV show, then maybe you can do that. But for a movie, it has to be very, very focused and self-contained. Now, having said that, that doesn't really mean that it's going to turn out to be something good, because Street Fighter tried to do a self-contained story with the Legend of Chun-Li, and that was not good. So, but from the looks of the trailer, it seems that there's a little bit more depth to the Johnny Cage character. They kind of present him as this, has been action movie star, and will be almost part of his redemption arc by competing in this tournament. And so it looks really, really great. It's a good trailer because, as I've said numerous times before, the easiest thing to do is make a good trailer these days. If you have the visual effects, you have the good editing, you have the music, and somehow the original Mortal Kombat music has legs for generations because it's still played in the trailer and it still pops up every now and again, even online when you watch reels or TikTok videos or whatever the case may be. So we'll see what happens. So far so good from the little bits and pieces that I can identify from the trailer, but we'll see what happens on May 8th when it comes out. Anyways, what about you guys? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.